My lovely, lovely, wonderful people. A pleasant evening to everybody. You know, back in the day, when Prime Minister Andrew Holness came in and so on, and I think some of us, when we had started, we gave him a chance. When I say we, I'm speaking in the plural, not necessarily me, I'm just speaking in the plural. We gave him a chance to say, okay, young, fresh and green, so to speak. Let's give the youth a chance, because he's young, fresh and green and all of that. And then some of us, we may not have liked how some things had occurred, you know, um, especially when COVID came here in 2020 March. How some things were, the lockdowns, the this and the third. So I could understand people's annoyance, pet peeves, frustrations, and on a macro level, you saw things slowly coming up, like the roads being slowly repaired and fixed, buildings going up, buildings after buildings in terms of apartments, houses, and so on. And but people were chiding him, and initially I thought that the chiding was warranted because maybe something there is a spoke in the wheel and in the governance. But I should have understood that, like, it's like cleaning a house. If you're really spring cleaning, as the terminology goes, your home, if somebody were to walk in during the process of cleaning, they would say, how the house look like the same Hurricane Melissa category 5 passed through it. But you know how you're going to put everything back, no matter how everything looks packed up, where you're going to put that book, that shoe, that this and all. You know how it's going to go. You just want to get rid of the muck, the dirt, and so on, and clean the place, make it fresh and nice. Similarly, I said, so I never likened it onto a house being comprehensively clean, but it may look ugly during the process of the cleaning. It may not look right, it may not feel right, but it doesn't mean it is not on a right track. So I used to say, maybe the people were right in terms of chiding the Prime Minister and coming at him and so forth. But I started to see things slowly improve and get better and better. Not in every way. Individually, it would be nice if people could earn more on an individual level, but you see changes. Anyone that would say they have not seen changes, whether in their salaries, whether in the structure of the place. We see new highways, we see the remodeling of roads, homes, and all sorts of things going on. We see them happening. The road work is a big example that people even complain that they shouldn't do all of them in one sweep, which there is method to the madness. I don't have a problem with that, because when everything, yes, it's chaotic and you may be in traffic for a while, but when it is finished, all the roads are good. So if you want to go from Moran Point to Nigger Point, so to speak, then all the roads are good. So I after a while I say, you know what, I'm seeing the method in the madness. And I said, but wait, the trajectory looks good. I said, maybe this man should not be chided, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that there were not hiccups and slippages and so forth, because no one is blemished free or flawless. We are all, and it's a learning process. It's somewhat of a fairly new role at that time, in a sense to him, because he had 4 years initially from 2016. So it is not like he has been there for many, many years as the Prime Minister. So, at the time when COVID hit, still somewhat newish, or maybe minted. But I realize that the vitriol, the rancor, the attacks on the man has not stopped. I realize it became even personal, that they start to attack how he looks, his nose. And it goes on to his family. I don't know if they mention his children and whatnot. But the attacks have not stopped. And I said to myself, as far as I know, it is not one man. It's not a one-man band show. He's not the only. You may hear interspersingly another MP's name called and something, but it dies out. It dies out quickly. And I know the overall leader tends to get more hits and blows than the average person, below him in terms of position. But I said this one is a little bit unusual. The attacks are personal. They are no longer, I don't even know if initially they were related to justice and fairness as I thought it was. And I'm saying this in light of the fact that I saw the Prime Minister in Parliament had to say that, he gave an example of two places down there in Westmoreland, Darliston and White House. That if you know Darliston and White House, where would the helicopter land to park? To land there for him to go, for example. And I am sure, and one of the things that people don't understand, you will have stronghold constituencies, yes, where you would say that is a stronghold PNP or a stronghold GLP. But one of the things that people don't realize that no matter how it could have strong, so till it can move like a cement, within those little pockets, you have people on the other side. You have husband and wife where one is GLP, one is PNP. You don't know what is going on in a household. People are going to go around until because of how dark and backward some people are and dunce. So they're not going to get up and promulgate that. They probably make you think that they're on one side when they're on the next. Because they just can't be bothered with the political tribal war. They can't be bothered. With the fact of the hurricane moving one car from probably one section of the west to a next section of the west. Houses probably from one section of the west to the next section of the west. Everybody now mix up in a bowl of slush. What would it profit him now in this case for him to give only to in his constituent when there's no place? Basically everywhere blow down. When there's no place. There's no place. So everybody have to mix up with their GLP, PNP, OPP, UPP. Everybody now has to mix up. Everybody now has to join together. It's about their life. Nobody is specifically, I'm sure that the people are out there now, and some of them may be staying on the outside, sitting and thinking orange and green. They're thinking of how am I going to live to see tomorrow? I wonder if I can get something to eat later tonight. I wonder if I can sleep comfortably. Hopefully nobody molests me. You think anybody thinking about when they're whatever? So everybody mix up. So when him carrying out care packages, I guarantee you that some of them mix up and blend up people. Some are affiliated with PNP, some are affiliated with the GLP. Additionally, you have MPs that are awarded and allotted monies. Watch me. And I'm sure that, when the relief comes, everybody's going to get, some packages to deal with their constituency. Why not put some of the burden on the MP that is connected to, I just call those, for example, those two like Darliston, White House, in what happened to the MPs or the councillors that are associated with it. Why not, because I know that them tongue now have corn on it, nor bunions, and the teeth them nor rotten. They can go to the Prime Minister that are the individual or people who are in charge of the relief and say, can we get a certain amount? Can we get a certain amount for our constituency? So you expect the man who is not Jesus Christ to go every single solitary district in this hurricane season? So why bother have other people? Why not just make him be the only human being that exists? Then dismantle everybody then and leave him alone in Parliament. Because I've never seen anything like this. This taking a set on the man. Leave him alone in Parliament. They make him one alone go there and talk to himself. Talk to the chairs, have a conversation, and then he comes out and he does everything. Sometimes I say to myself, this is crazy. You don't hear, they don't say the part they call his name. No matter what the situation is, all when it is unrelated. All when it is unrelated. Now everybody mix up and blend and bolus rush in this chronic, acute, very bad situation. Even if you live in Darliston, or you might find yourself over Frome or an next section because you're displaced. It has nothing now to do with whether you're green or orange. It has to do with survival. So there's no need for the man to be hiding the food, and they need to stop taking us. It's not good. You people are scary. Jeez, guys, you know what to do with TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe, Give me one of those lions. Thank you.